Okay, on example 2, we're going to see if given 3 points, those points determine the vertices of a right triangle. Now, what I'm going to do just to help a little bit is I'm going to plot these 3 points. My first ordered pair is at -6, so -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, +2. Let me label it. My next point is at 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And my third given ordered pair is 1, -2. So that point lives down there in quadrant 4 at 1, -2. Now, we're going to draw a triangle out of these 3 points. I'll do the best I can here. And there. You know, and kind of eyeballing it, it looks like it could be possible, I don't know, that this might be our right angle. We'll have to see. Just because, I want to point out, just because it looks like it kind of might be a right triangle doesn't make it be a right triangle. We are going to have to prove, using our Pythagorean theorem, that in fact the leg squared plus this leg squared equals my hypotenuse squared. Okay? So I am going to use my Pythagorean theorem that says a squared plus my b squared equals the hypotenuse length squared. Now, to know what is this leg length for A, that is an application of the distance formula. It's the distance between those 2 points. Okay? So, let's see. I think I'll do that work right here. A, which is distance, okay? That's going to be equal to the square root of the difference in the x values, so 3 minus 1 squared, added to the difference in the y values. So watch this. I've got to go 1 minus a -2 squared. Now, so in there, that is actually going to be 1 plus 2. Got to be careful on that. Watch out for your signs on this. So here, 3 minus 1 is 2, and then when I square 2, I get 4. I'm going to add that to the 1 minus a -2, which is the same thing as 1 plus 2, 3. Squared is 9, and so that distance between those 2 points, 3, 1, and 1, -2, which is the leg length of A, is exactly square root of 13. Let me label that over here. So A is equal to the square root of 13. Let's find what is leg length B. And actually, that's the distance from the point 1, -2, out to this point here at -6, 2. So B, which is the distance between those points, here comes my distance formula. That is going to be the difference in the x values squared. So here I'm going to go -6 minus 1 squared, added to the difference in the y values. This is going to be 2 minus a -2. So 2 minus a -2 squared. -6 minus 1 is -7. When I square that, I will have 49. I'm going to add that to what is actually going to be 2 plus 2, 4 squared, or 16. Let's see, 49 plus 16, I'm going to have the square root of 65. Maybe that simplifies, I don't know. Okay, but b is equal to the square root of 65. It's just a hair bit over 8 is what that actually is. Now let's figure the hypotenuse length. Okay, and that's going to be the distance between the point -6, 2 and 3, -1. So, the hypotenuse is going to be the square root of difference in the x values. So, -6 minus 3. Let me write my parenthesis there. There we go. -6 minus 3. I'm going to square that. And then add it to the difference in my y values. So 2 minus 1 squared. So for the hypotenuse, we get, that's going to be inside the parenthesis here, that's going to be a -9 squared is positive 81, added to 1 squared is, oh, it's not 82, okay. 1 squared is just 1, and then when we add those together, we get the square root of 82. Okay, now, to see if this thing is going to be a right triangle, we're going to go plug it into our Pythagorean theorem. That has to be satisfied for us to call it a right triangle. So we are going to have the a value squared added to the b value squared. And if it's a right triangle, and that's what we're asking ourselves, if it's a right triangle, that's going to be equal to the c that we just got a second ago, squared. Well, let's see. The a, remember, was square root of 13. So I'm going to put that in for a. When I square the square root of 13, I get 13 plus the b was square root of 65. When I square the square root of 65, I get just 65. And is that going to be equal to the c? Square root of 82 squared, which is 82. Let's see, 13 plus 65 is actually just 78. And 78 is not the same thing as 82. So what we would say is no, okay, or something like maybe not a right triangle, because the Pythagorean theorem was not satisfied. This would have to be equal if it were to be a right triangle.